Hey there, horror fans. I'm your host, Douglas here at Drown Boy Productions, and you're watching the 31 Days of Trick or Treat. If you're just now joining us for this event, every single day for 31 days, we're taking a look at a new Trick or Treat Studios product starting on Halloween and ending December 1st. And we have looked at some absolutely incredible pieces so far throughout this event, and this week even has had some really awesome pieces. On the first day, we took a look at the Ghoul Mask by Justin Mabry. Then we took a look at the Hybrid by Jordu Shell. After that, we took a look at the original Freddy Krueger from the original Nightmare on Elm Street by Russ Lukich. Then we took a look at a very nice Chud by Justin Mabry. Yesterday we took a look at the Nope plush, and today's video is yet again not on a mask, but another plush doll. Now, there wasn't a whole lot to say about yesterday's plush because it didn't have a lot of screen time and there's not a whole lot to it. Today, however, we have pretty much the exact opposite of that. Because today's doll happens to be one of the most iconic in film history. We have the Good Guy doll. Now, in particular, what we're taking a look at today is the new Trick or Treat Studios Child's Play Plush Good Guy doll. Of course, I'm sure most of you have seen the original deluxe version of the Good Guy doll. It's a pretty awesome prop. Of course, I'm sure many of you already know the original Trick or Treat Studios Good Guy doll. Those are pretty awesome, and I do have a review on those as well. These, however, were just released, and this is essentially a way for Trick or Treat Studios to get Good Guy dolls into the hands of collectors for a lot cheaper. And they do also kind of have a place in the film history, because there are some versions of the doll that are meant just to be carried around, and that's it. And they're pretty much plush versions. Some of them are like plush with foam bodies, different pieces or different materials. At least I think I'm correct on that. If there's any hardcore Chucky heads out there, let me know in the comment section down below. But these are pretty awesome. The original Good Guy that was put out by Trick or Treat Studios is one of the coolest mass-produced horror pieces ever made. These are almost there, but they do fall a little bit short in my opinion, so let's go ahead and dive into details about these dolls. First off, to be expected, this fella does not come with a box. To cut down on prices, they're not going to be shipping this in the giant Good Guy boxes. Instead, the only packaging you really get is a tag here, and when they're shipped, they do come with plastic on the hands, the shoes, and there's a hairnet on the head to help protect the doll. But outside of the head, hands, and feet, the rest of the body is made out of a stuffed plush. And because Chucky has no feet, the plush is stuffed into the shoes, and they feel a little bit more hollow. The tag is cool. It definitely looks like it fits an original Good Guy product. And appearance-wise, because if you're really picking up one of these, maybe you do just want it for appearance. It's just something you want to sit on the shelf or in the corner, or maybe you're interested in getting it signed by a bunch of different actors. So this isn't something you're going to be handling and posing and taking pictures with, stuff like that. What are we looking at here? The sweater, instead of being a higher quality, almost knit material, is more of like a printed, not quite polyester, but it's a little bit nicer quality than that, but it seems to be a printed fabric. It would also appear that the collar of the shirt is glued onto the neck to keep it from coming down and showing the plush body underneath. Then let's talk about the overalls. This is one of my biggest complaints. Color-wise, it does seem to be a little bit lighter than the other ones. I believe they were a bit darker blue, and that's not a huge issue. That's something I can get past, whatever. However, it appears that these are just much too big. I don't know if you guys can really tell, but it seems like Chucky just has a ton of extra fabric here. If you try to pull it up and pull that part tighter, then there's just a ton of extra material up here. And it just seems like the straps are entirely too long, or they added too much material at the bottom. And because the overalls are supposed to be a little bit lower, I have to think that it's just the straps are too big, and there's just too much material down there as well. I'm not sure what went wrong here, if this was just some poor patterning, or maybe, just maybe, they used the original pattern for the other doll for these, but because they're using a plush body, it's a little bit smaller, it doesn't fill out the overalls quite as well, and it looks a little bit goofy. But really, outside of the overalls, there's nothing that I can complain about. The hands are pretty basic, there's really no paint work here, but as far as the finishing, they look great, they look well put together. You know, no air bubbles, no defects, nothing like that. He does have the laces are real. It's not just molded onto there or anything like that. And the paint job on the shoes seems to be done very well also. They didn't cheap out there. So, no real complaints there. Then let's talk about the face. The stenciling looks good on pretty much everything. I think the eyes may be a slight different color, but they don't look bad at all. They look pretty damn accurate to the movie. And we just have to talk about hair, so let's pull that hairnet off. Obviously, this is just straight out. You guys are seeing me do the very, very first bit of styling here. It probably could use a little bit of work, but that's pretty much what we're working with. I'm not sure. It looks like the hairline might be a little bit further back than it needs to be, but maybe I'm wrong. It looks pretty close if it is a little bit too far back, but it might be proper. Other than that, Chucky does have some very long hair. Now, in my opinion, this is great. You can style it however you want. If you want to go with one of the different versions that has some crazy shortcut hair, you can go for it. If you want to go with a classic Chucky look or classic good guy look, you can cut it to that length. If you want it to be longer, you can just leave it as is. That is a trend that I've noticed with some Trick or Treat Studios products that have hair. They will often leave the hair with extra length. It's untrimmed. Now, some people would consider this to be lazy, and to some degree, I suppose, but when it comes to something like a high-end replica like this, you can't count on every single factory worker getting it correct every single time. And instead of running into that issue, it's probably much easier to just get your nice high-end prop you're already spending a couple of $100s on and go spend an extra 10, 15 bucks to take it to your local barber, have them trim it up properly. I'm sure they'll probably get a laugh out of it as well. Now that we've looked over the doll, let's go ahead and take a look at the Trick or Treat Studios website and read the excerpt to learn a bit more about these. Okay, I've got it pulled up. Let's go ahead and dive in. The Plush Body Good Guy. It does not specify which Child's Play that this is from, because he appears in multiple entries, of course. But it says it was developed by Garrett Zima. Garrett, of course, developed the original Good Guy and many other products with Trick or Treat Studios. The officially licensed Plush Body Good Guy doll is the perfect friend till the end. A great new option for the super fan who loves to take their friend on the go, or just an incredible addition to your collection. The Plush Body Good Guy doll captures that perfect body flop you see in the films when Chucky is pretending not to be alive or being dragged around by Andy. This version features a combination of a soft, stuffed plush torso and limbs, and a new durable fabric outfit combined with high-quality vinyl head, hands, and shoes. The Plush Body Good Guy doll is approximately 30 inches long. So yeah, the head, hands, and shoes are made out of vinyl, not plastic. But there you have it. That's the Plush Body Good Guy doll. As for price on these, they run $200. Now, that is still quite a bit, but the full version deluxe doll with the posable arms, the foam body, the high quality fabric, all that good stuff, runs $500. Those are quite a bit. Still worth it in my opinion, considering the handmade ones are $2,000. But for $200, as a Chucky fan, this is probably one of the best dolls to ever be made for that price. And yeah, he does have a few different issues, like I guess the overalls could be a little bit darker or smaller, and the hair could be a little bit better, but realistically, like, for what it is, this is a great price. If you're not looking to get one to pose and to use like that, if you're just looking for something to carry around for photos, or just to have it sitting in your collection, this is a great pickup in my opinion. Of course, that's not why I picked this up. Instead, this is more of a plan B. More about that later, but if you guys want to pick up one of these yourself, you can get it directly from Trick or Treat Studios, or you can get it from one of the plethora of retailers that they work with. These are awesome, and if you're looking for a friend till the end, look no further. With that being said, there's nothing left to do but give you guys some nice close-ups. I love you all, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you next time.